And in our daily lives, we are certainly concerned about money, but that's not the only thing we are concerned about. We have ethical and social concerns. For example, some of us buy electric cars rather than gas guzzlers, which may be cheaper, but they pollute the environment. We use less water in our house or garden than is privately optimal because we are aware that water is a scarce good. We buy fair trade coffee, even though it's more expensive and possibly no better than regular coffee. We buy chicken from a free-range farm rather than a factory farm, even though it's more expensive. Now, our point, Luigi's and my point is, if consumers are willing, if ordinary people are willing to take social factors into account, and to use the economics jargon, economists would refer to this as internalizing externalities. If they're willing to do that in their private lives, why would they not want the companies they invest in to do the same? There's a general view, particularly in the United States, that managers have a fiduciary duty to shareholders, a duty of loyalty. Okay? And that is taken to mean, and this is very much in the spirit of Friedman, that means managers should be making as much money as possible for the shareholders because that's what they want. Now, we think that's wrong. We think, and I've given you an example to sort of show this, that shareholders are not only interested in money. Okay? And so a duty of loyalty means actually figuring out what the shareholders want, whether they want to pollute the lake or they don't, whether they want to have dangerous weapons sold in your stores or whether they don't. Acting on behalf means finding out what they want, and the best way to do that is to have more consultation on social issues with voters, something which just doesn't happen in the United States right now because people don't think that way. The second thing is that the same issue arises with mutual funds. You will often hear institutional investors, when they're considering how to vote on some issue, they say, oh, we have a fiduciary duty to the people who invest with us to vote for whatever is going to maximize profit. That's our obligation to them. And we would say, no, we think that's wrong. You should ask them what they want. And it may be to do something which is less profitable but socially better. Now, a final point then, let me just end with a final point, is that some people argue, and we may discuss this, that it's very burdensome for shareholders to have to be thinking about all the time, or maybe not all the time, but from time to time, about these social issues, how to vote on some strategic issue. You know, we're all busy, and we don't perhaps spend so much time thinking about companies. How do you deal with that issue? Well, we think we argue that you can imagine a situation where mutual fund companies arise, so these are the things we would invest in, as opposed to the companies directly. That's typically what happens these days. These companies can arise with a platform that they are going to vote on issues in certain ways. We give the example of a curb assault weapon index fund. So this would be identical in every respect to other mutual funds buying and selling the same basket of stocks, with the exception that it would vote against any sale of assault weapons and ammunition to ordinary citizens. So that would be part of its platform, and I could decide to invest my money with them, and then I don't have to worry about voting myself because I know they're going to vote the right way. Notice this is an interesting alternative to what we often see now, which is mutual funds which say we won't buy the shares of weapons companies. We're saying maybe it would be better to say, yes, we will buy the shares, but then we'll vote in a particular way to change the behavior of those companies. In fact, politics and differences of opinion and social issues also encroach into the company area as well, and we should recognize that and act accordingly.